Oh, I love these questions. Thank you for asking them.
Welcome to the new weekly show you'll want to listen to before you browse another bookshelf.
Our special guest today is the fantastic best-selling author so many times over, Sally Hepworth, who is joining us all the way from Australia. Thank God for modern technology. Hello, how are you?
So this is a show for all people who love books and are heavy into the bookish life, or for those of you who don't want to read but want to pretend you do. You can listen to this podcast and start talking about the books you've most recently read. Impress your friends. I don't care. It's a no judgment zone. It's for the voracious reader or the casual book clubber. You know who you are, mainly in it for the snacks and social hour. This is your all-access pass to the best of the book world. Engaging interviews with today's most successful authors.
I loved writing her because I feel like I was able to pull sort of the things that I most admire about my own daughters.
What has your experience been with providing others with the ugly cry? Does anybody ever get frustrated and say, like, stop doing this to me, Kristen Hanna?
I constantly say I am not going to make people cry in this book, and I try not to. And then they cry anyway.
Your chance to hear the personal stories that influence the books we can't put down.
I'm going to cry right now. I need to live that, like, a goodbye with my mother, I think. And, you know, I think I really did it in that book. Go to your novel that you're writing like you go to your therapist. Like, you're going there because you need something from it. And if you do that, then the novel becomes like a gift to yourself.
Hear how writers like Kristen Hanna create the conflict that tests the resilience of her characters.
And I sort of thought, okay, who would fight with their mother or with another person during all of this adversity? And I thought, oh, an adolescent girl. They'll fight with you over a hairbrush no matter what's going on.
It's a podcast where you can hear Arizona's first poet laureate explore the power of language.
You feel that, you learn it, you understand it without articulating it. It enters your body.
Or check in with a friend who's always ready to recommend a good book.
But I saw it on the shelf at the library, picked it up, took it home, and I was so thrilled.
And find advice from the kind of experts we all need in our corner.
Your relationships are better when you're financially independent because they don't have all these other things involved and strings attached.
We teach kids to misbehave. That's what parents need to understand. The behavior is learned behavior. And if you're too authoritarian, and most of us grew up in authoritarian homes, that's going to backfire.
Or just share in the sort of memorable moments only professional storytellers can bring.
And I was hit by a kangaroo, like one is hit by a car. A kangaroo came bouncing out of between the cars, and they're big, right? And it's kind of like being hit by a fridge or something.
So don't miss an episode of the weekly Olivia's Book Club, the podcast. Subscribe wherever you listen, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, or Amazon Music, to be sure those episodes go directly to your podcast library. And remember, we get more interesting with every book we read, so same goes for the book talks you're listening to. I'm Olivia Fierro, and I can't wait for you to join us for Olivia's Book Club, the podcast.